Today in Getting Real with the Housewives, Kandi Burruss out of Atlanta and her former co-star Kandi Burruss responds to the drama.
If you shade Kenya, you got to be ready for what's coming back at you.
Plus, Kelly Bensimon says, I don't 4 days before her wedding. And Kyle Richards teases a dynamic shifting on Beverly Hills, while Danielle Staub doesn't regret her fight with Jen Aiden. We've got that plus so much more on today's Getting Real with the Housewives. Hey everyone, I'm Christina and welcome to Getting Real with the Housewives. So much big news this week. We got Kenya out of Atlanta, Kelly Bensimon calling off her wedding. We're going to get to it in just a second, but before we do, I want to see what you had to say about last week's show. Kim Wright says, Alexis and John are cruel. Payback is coming. They need to put on their seatbelt. They are talking about this upcoming season of OC. It is going to be spectacularly filled with drama, and I'm going to be on the edge of my seat. Another user says, oh my God, yes, Luann on Golden Bachelorette. I'm totally here for it as well. And Sandy says, why doesn't Trey want her brother and Melissa to be successful too? That is so sad to me. The whole thing is sad, you know, with Joe throwing the letter in the fire. There's just so much of Jersey to get into. But before we do, let's talk about Kelly Bensimon, because she is revealing why she decided to call off her engagement to Scott Littner just 4 days before they were set to walk down the aisle. In a statement, they said to us, he thought that I would enter this union without legal protections in place, that I would leave everything to Faith. Now, Kelly told us that the refusal was the ultimate red flag, adding, I haven't come this far in business and life to start making poor decisions because of a man. He, of all people, should have understood the need to protect each other before we tied the knot. I'm truly shocked he refused a prenup. Now, news broke on June 25th that Kelly and Scott ended their relationship, like I said, 4 days ahead of their wedding in Boston. Her rep told us that she was taking a moment to herself before opening up about the breakup. In a subsequent statement, the rep told us that Kelly is disappointed by this turn of events. She was looking forward to an exciting new chapter in her life together with Scott when everything became clear to her late on Tuesday afternoon. They added, my 2 daughters are my priority and I won't be moving forward with this wedding. Now, she had told Page 6 that. Now, they got engaged during a 4th of July holiday vacation last year. She sat here on this couch last summer, told me all about it. She seemed so happy, so in love, and it seemed like their families were meshing really well together, and it seemed like, you know, she thought this was going to be her forever. I feel really bad for Kelly. I'm sure, you know, Scott, they had this big plans for this wedding, but, you know, she did what was best for her, and better to do it before she walked down that aisle to find out later. And there must have been a reason why he didn't want to sign a prenup. So definitely some big red flags, and, you know, just wish them both the best, because this is, I'm sure, not how they expected this to go. Sure, Kenya Moore didn't expect for this season Atlanta to go to this way, because she will not be returning for season 16. So a source with knowledge of the situation tells Us Weekly that Kenya won't be appearing on the upcoming episodes, which are set to air sometime in 2025. As for Kenya's future with the Bravo franchise, a second insider says that a return hasn't been discussed. She took to social media to comment on her decision shortly after the news broke of her departure, saying, you are the best fans anyone could ever ask for, and I love you all so very much, always and forever. She included the hashtag Team Twirl Forever in her post. Now, earlier in the day, people reported that the decision to keep the reality star off the series reportedly came from Bravo. Kenya was reportedly suspended indefinitely from the reality series earlier this month after allegedly unveiling explicit pictures of new Atlanta cast member Brittany Eady. A lot to unpack here. I hope this isn't the way that Kenya's career at Bravo comes to an end. I mean, obviously we haven't seen it. We don't know what's happening. You know, you would hate for her to share explicit photos in such a crude manner. But I mean, I don't know the context. We don't have the footage. We haven't seen what really went down. But I guess it was enough to warrant her to be suspended from the network. You know, we've seen people have fights on the show. I mean, Danielle and Jennifer, which we're going to talk about coming up, they were both suspended. They came back. But it seems like maybe Kenya's like, I'm done with this. I'm going to take a step back from Atlanta at the moment. But it must have been pretty fiery for it to get to this stage. But I actually caught up with Kenya's former co-star Kandi Burruss before the news of her departure broke. But I did ask her about the rumors of her suspension. So take a look.
You know, that's my girl. I love her. I support her. I've heard the rumors. I can't really say if it's confirmed to be true or anything. I didn't like that it even was a rumor. You know what I mean? I really felt like, that's not fair. If the other person had said things that could be taken as a threat or whatever, like, who are y'all to say how she gets to come get her get back? As long as she didn't make up anything about the person, like if this is real stuff about you that's out there on the internet, and I mean, and given it probably was a bit much, but we all know that. You know how Kenya, if you shade Kenya, you got to be ready for what's coming back at you. So, I don't think the other young lady must have watched the show in the past. Like that Kenya is not really the one who's gonna play fair with you. Like,
No,
it's not gonna take it easy, friend. It's not gonna work that way. So get ready.
Yeah, Kandi basically said, don't poke the Kenya bear because you're going to get bit. All right, moving on over to Beverly Hills. Kyle Richards says things are not good in her friendship with Dorit as they film Beverly Hills season 14. She told us the dynamics have shifted tremendously this year. The Bravo star named Dorit and Sutton specifically when discussing a change in friendships. Kyle thinks that she and Dorit should be supporting each other as they both undergo similar situations with the endings of their marriages, but I guess that's not the case. She said, unfortunately, that's not where we're at right now in our relationship. We're both going through different but similar situations, so it is unfortunate that we're in this position. Well, things are not great with Dorit. Kyle said the new women, Jennifer Tilly and Bozoma St. John, joining the mix have created a very interesting group overall. She said, we're just sort of starting out. Like I said, the dynamics have shifted, but they're constantly shifting and changing, so we'll see where we end up. Interesting, she also said that Kathy Hilton, as we know, she is making her return for the upcoming season. She said she is off to the races, and she said that Kathy has been very supportive off camera and funny on camera. She said she tries to keep the light. Her main goal right now, because of what I've been going through, is to try to make me laugh. And, Kathy is very good at that. But interesting that she said the dynamics between she and Sutton have changed because things were definitely very rocky between the two of them last season. So I wonder if Sutton has been a good support system for her during this challenging time with she and Mauricio. So we'll see that. But yeah, with all these rumors going around with Dorit and her marriage and not being there with Kyle, it seems like this is going not in the best direction of their friendship, but probably in a good direction for us as viewers. All right, well, Danielle Cabral isn't proud of how she went about her fight with Jennifer Aydin on The Real Housewives of New Jersey, but she doesn't appear to have many regrets. She wrote on Instagram, for a year we sat back in silence as the lies spread like wildfire. Hit after hit, lie after lie, but we held on to our truth and knew our day was coming. Danielle seemingly stood by her actions, adding, the lies are always loud, the truth is always silent, silence is powerful. Now, despite noting that violence is never the answer, Danielle didn't issue an apology to Jennifer. However, in all fairness, I did say the last person you want to mess with is me. Trust me when I tell you Tulum was the tip of the iceberg. Now, Us Weekly originally confirmed back in September of 2023 that Jennifer and Danielle were suspended after a mutual physical altercation took place while they filmed season 14 of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. We finally see it all go down. I'd love to know in the comments, whose side are you on? It seems like a lot of people are taking Danielle's side because Jennifer was the one that got physical. She pushed Danielle. Danielle threw that drink right back at her. But Jennifer definitely initiated the physical altercation. It just did seem very strange to me that, at the end of the day, they were fighting over hair extensions, and that's why they were both suspended from the show. I'd love to know if you think that Jersey is picking up steam a little bit. I've seen online that a lot of people are now, kind of getting back on board with this season, but I think as each episode kind of goes on, we understand why there's no reunion because literally everybody on this cast almost hates each other except for the select few. It's just a really interesting dynamic this season, and there's definitely going to be some big changes coming up. Well, moving on over to our social spotlight, and there is some big changes for Melania Giudice. Brace yourself, you're going to feel old because she just graduated high school, posted these photos. We all remember her when she was just a little baby girl, so this is kind of crazy that she is now off to college and graduating high school, and I'm sure their families are very proud of her. All right, well, that is it for this week's episode of Getting Real with the Housewives. Let me know in the comments what you think about Kenya Moore leaving Atlanta. If you're Team Jennifer or Team Danielle, lots to talk about this week as always. So keep commenting, keep subscribing, and I'll see you next week.